Okay, so a great day for me has arrived. Today is the day I begin putting all the stuff together to make mead. Everything has arrived except for the hydrometer, and I'm not going to be using it this first time. I will not be measuring the gravity and ABV, so for next time I'll be able to do all that. It should wind up being around 14-15%, and I'm going to back sweeten it. So if need be, I'm going to be using 3.5 um, pounds of honey for 1 gallon. It should have a little bit of sweetness, hopefully. I'll show you what I'm using, but it's the Lalvin QA23 yeast that I'll be using. But yeah, I'm just very excited. I've dreamt about this for years. Thought towards it and considered it, but also I literally have dreamt of mead too. But yeah, I first heard about it in probably 2005 from the video game The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. There's the expansion where you go to Solstheim up north, the snowy areas. It's got Nordic different things that you see there, different like relics and everything. But there's a mead hall there. I was like, what is this mead? And then I would later see more with mead and everything. But I've always been interested. I love those games, and then I tasted it probably later that year. I think it was Christmas of 2005 or 2006 that I got a bottle of Chaucer's. Tried a little bit room temp, or it may have been chilled, but then I tried some warm with the spice, and that was also good for the Christmassy time. But I have now tried about, I think it's maybe at 12 brands, and still Chaucer's is actually my favorite. I know a lot of people say that there are better things out there, but I mean, it's the easiest to get. It's available just like, Total Wine, different places like liquor stores and everything. And I just think I love the flavor. I love the sweetness level, and the flavor is consistent from what I find. I also enjoy the Oliver Camelot. It's the New World Camelot mead from Oliver. They had that at World Market. That one is also very good and very affordable. But yeah, I'm here. I'm finished with this part of the video, so I will show you what I have recorded with the different equipment I'll be using. Okay, so this is a 1 gallon carboy next to a silver beast, a silver log, a silver loaf. Big boy. That's the 1 gallon carboy I'll be using. I'm going to start my first fermentation, my first mead batch. It's going to be 1 gallon. I may do 3, 5, 6 later. I don't know. I may just do one because it's faster. In that 5 gallons is like, I'm sorry, 1 gallon is like 5 wine bottles. So that's a good amount of stuff anyway and since, I'm a light drinker, I don't need a lot anyway, but that's the 1 gallon carboy. Here we have the auto siphon in tube. That'll be for taking the finished product from the carboy into bottles and bottling them. This is the yeast I've chosen. This will be for my first few batches, while it's a little warmer in my room, probably the 70s. I got the D47 from Lalvin for when it's cooler in my room, and I can do that without producing as many off flavors and the funk. So this is what I'm using now. I do want to experiment with other ones. You can get all sorts of flavors. I've heard, it makes a big difference. So, but this is what I'm starting with my first time. Here is the stopper with the airlock, and the airlock will let the gas seep out while it's fermenting, and it doesn't let anything in. I'll put some of my sanitizer with some of the water, the prepared diluted sanitizer, in this, and it'll make bubbles. You'll hear it bubbling, making the sound as the gas comes out and everything. And hopefully I'll get a little bit of a smell. I'll be able to put my head over it and be like, starting to smell like mead. This is the honey that I went with. I'm going to be using 3.5 pounds for my first batch, my first gallon. With the yeast that I have, it should be, max out, and it might be a little bit dry. I might back sweeten it later, but it should max out at the 14% or so. It can go above and beyond that though, so maybe, anyway, I got 6 pounds total. I'll be using 3.5 to begin with. I have some left over for next time, or to use with teas or whatever. This is what I went with. This was inexpensive, and it's just what I wanted to try the first time. I'll also be experimenting with different honeys though in the future. Okay, so you can't see them that well with the with this blocking it, but this is the Fermenting K and the Go Firm. They're from the, see, it's from the same company. So the Go Firm you add when you're rehydrating the yeast. It's got some, yeah, see, complex nutrient blend, and it's got everything. You add that. I'll do, because I'm doing a full thing of yeast, even though you don't need it for a gallon. I just don't want it to go to waste. I'm going to use the full packet of 5 grams, so I'll do 6.25 grams of that at the beginning. And then 24 hours later, I'm just going to do, like, I guess slightly staggered or whatever. I'm not doing a schedule. It's only 1 gallon. I'll do 1 gram of the Fermenting K 24 hours after I've gotten everything. The must has began to do its thing for 24 hours, so I'll add that. And that'll be it, and we'll just wait. See, you know, should ferment in, like, it says 10 to 20 days, but, you know, about a month or so I'll let it sit more. We'll just wait until it stops bubbling and everything. This is the bottle brush just to be used with the sanitizer, simple for the carboy. Here's my gallon of water. This is just what was available at the grocery store that I went to. That's what they had. I like that it's all see-through and not, you know, cloudy like a lot of them. It just looks really nice. But anyway, that's what I'll be using for the water. Last but not least, we have Star San, which is the sanitizer that I'll be using. You don't have to use this, but this is just a good one to use because it's food grade, and you can, if there's anything left over, any residue, it's not going to hurt you at all. So use that. You make a diluted mixture with water and everything, and you need to use that with everything the must will come into contact with, as well as the resulting product, the mead. Just anything, because here's the thing, honey doesn't go bad, but that doesn't mean that bacteria can't get in there before you make it and create off flavors and just make it a nasty mess. So you just want to take all the precautions and try to get everything clean and have it result in something better. Okay, correction for you. The Lauven QA23 wine yeast has a maximum alcohol tolerance of 16%. So I was wrong about the 14. That must have been the D47. I thought there was another that I was getting that had 14, but this that I will be using has 16%. So with the 3.5 gallons of honey, it's going to be, it should be good enough to get to that maximum, but it's going to be probably a drier mead, and I'll back sweeten later. And I will try other yeasts. I will try other yeasts later and just experiment and see what flavors I can find, and hopefully find some really pleasant stuff. Alright, well, thanks if you've made it this far. I appreciate it. I hope that you're also curious about this. I don't know if you yourself are a mead maker, home brewer, or if it'll be your first time, if you just like to watch these videos and get some idea of what people are doing. I appreciate you watching. I'm not going to post any of the actual process or the progress that's made, but I will make a video of tasting it and afterwards. But you'll just see, you know, what you do. You rehydrate the yeast. I'm going to do room temp water. They say, you know, you can heat it up and get it to the ideal temperature. I'm going to do room temp with the yeast in the Go Firm. Just put that in, put the bottle of honey in, heat it up in a saucepan with water, just get it liquidy. Pour it, you know, pour some water into the carboy, then some of the honey and everything, and then add the rest of everything, and then let it sit. And then the 24 hours later, I'll do the Fermenting K. So, and then just let it sit for a while, and it should be good to go. shortly. This is, it's very quick. You can also do like even smaller than a gallon. Usually people start with a gallon though. That's what I want to do. That'll be a good amount just to see, it's a good place to start. Try to see how well I do. Hopefully it turns out good. I will post something later with that tasting and everything. I may even just do a short video of when it starts to ferment and everything. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope that you have good times and take care of yourself often when you're able to.